and almost gone. And today we've got Wins and Losses Friday with our dear friend Nicole Glenn from Candor Expedite. Stick around and we'll share what worked, what didn't, what flopped big time, and what's coming up next week. Welcome to the HPLS podcast. Live, relevant, and high performance information, conversations, and education weekly. You know, we keep saying it, but Fridays are such an awesome day because we get to really review the week, figure out like what worked, what didn't, what flopped, what can I change for next week. And today is Wins and Losses Friday.
I swear that little beep thing in the back is like from the X-Files or something, because that's all that pops in my head every time I hear it.
I feel like it's going to bust out into a dance scene in like 20 seconds after that. Yeah.
I dance worse than a white man, so I'm not the one breaking out into the dance scene. I'll tell you that right now. I am. You want to talk movement? It don't work. I mean, I think robots can probably dance better than me, but I'd probably be more smooth. So we have Nicole Glenn with us today, everyone, from Candor Expedite. We're going to talk about wins and losses, what's happening in the expedite world. Nicole, thank you so much for being here.
I love coming on with you guys.
It's always so awesome when you come on and we get to speak to you, because it's just, you're so refreshing. And you know what? It's that personal, professional development end that kind of leads everything with the three of us. And it's remarkable, you know, and we were just talking off air, everyone. We were just talking about, Nicole's offices and kind of what's happened with COVID and the way she's reworking the company culture. And it's remarkable, you know, to go to your team and say, hey, team, would you rather be in the office? Would you rather not be in the office? Electing not to be in the office, letting the lease run out, and using that rent money to bring the team together and create a culture a differentiating culture, because the fact is, when we're all working from home, that's one of the pieces that a lot of people say is, you know, that's what we're missing that culture, that in-office connection. Yeah. So congratulations for doing that, Nicole.
Yes. I'm so glad you mentioned that, Dan, because I was going to say that too. Yeah. Huge props to not do a lot of the bigger companies would, and just add additional bonuses or benefits to other people, but really spread.
Well, you got to do that too, DJ.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah. But you spread it to the team, and I
yes.
That, so.
Yeah. Morning, Lisa. Good morning, Jeff. So, wins and losses. Let's get to it. Who wants to start on their wins and losses for this week?
Go, Nicole. You want to
start? Sure. So this week was actually Monday and Tuesday. I was at a conference. So I went to Food Shippers of America.
Saw the pictures.
I was down in Orlando. It's a great time. I've been going, I'd say six or seven times I've gone. And then COVID took that little pause. So you're in this room, guys. So I'm going to actually go with the win and loss both in this scenario.
Oh, right. Okay.
So you are in this giant room, right, with 900 plus people. And this is the thing that I noticed. I've become more comfortable in doing this because I've been going multiple years, and I brought Tyler with me, and it was his first time. And it's starting that conversation. You got that cluster of people, right? You have maybe 4 people or 6 people sitting by each other. And you're kind of that, lonely person kind of perusing that room, trying to network with somebody. And it's tough. It is really a tough thing for people to break through. So
do you find it tougher after COVID as opposed to before COVID?
Well, it was definitely different, because there were less people, obviously, and it's more of clusters, but really no one had any, I don't know if it's Florida, I don't know what it was, but there was a lot less hugging and stuff like that from the people that you would see. But it was really going through that room and trying to connect with people. And so one of the wins for myself was obviously seeing some old friends and looking at people's logos. And the win for me was not caring. There's sometimes, you guys, we got to take that conscious concept where we're in this like moment and just go, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to do it. And so there were quite a few people that I was able to walk up to, that I did not know, and alongside of Tyler, and just do that introduction in a human style. So I think that's part of the issue that people come across as trying to be too polished, too perfect. Just be yourself, right? And so we had some great conversations with people by doing that. My loss, though, with that too, was someone that I've been trying to network with forever. I just kind of walked by and I like called out the name. I was like, hey, hey, hey. And I was like, oh, I got shunned. I got shunned. And this is my lost part of it. Instead of going after, not even that moment or sending a message and saying, hey, I'd love to connect with you, I let it go. And so when I came home, I was kind of like, that's a loss. That's a lost opportunity. I should have gone after, I should have said hello in a different manner. I should have approached it differently. So kind of one of those little mini learning lessons on, even if you get kind of shunned or someone's busy or whatever, to still understand that and then go around and try again.
So big question for me when it comes to that loss is fully understand, what have you put into place the next time it might happen so you don't, whether it be like a trigger or something, so that initial reaction inside your body to just kind of go away doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely an outstanding concept. I would take note of that and then try to remember that moment to go, okay, this is exactly what happened.
This is how I felt.
How I need to approach it. Yeah.
That is awesome. You know what, Nicole? I'm going to say reach out to them today.
I should.
And yeah, and you know what? And maybe even
so.
From a vulnerability perspective, from a authenticity perspective. And again, my suggestion, share that story with them. You just kind of waved to me and I kind of froze. I didn't really know. I should have connected with you. I apologize, but I would love to connect with you. I'm one of those people
I
where
agree completely, Dan. I agree though, because the vulnerability will definitely open the door, whether there's an opportunity there or not. I think it's gonna, it opens the door for sure.
You're gonna get the connection, and you know what? Yeah. And here's the thing: is I like to, in situations like that, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Sure.
Some people think I'm crazy for it, but it's like, you ever walk into a room and you kind of look across the room and somebody waves to you and you just kind of put up your hand and wave and you continue looking because there's so many faces. Part of me says, did they really, did they recognize you, but did they really, oh, that's Nicole, or it's kind of just some person waving. And then afterwards, maybe they were also like, oh man, I kind of feel like I shunned her. And then maybe they were embarrassed to approach you. Right. I don't know. I like to, when I'm in a room, I like to pretend that that's the way it happens for me. And maybe it just protects my inner soul or something, to think that how come somebody doesn't like me?
I am going to have to do this and keep you guys posted on what happens.
Yeah, for sure.
Please, for sure.
I will.
Yeah. Lisa says it's a mental thing. Be authentic and be yourself, 100%. Or a win that you learned from. Yes, 100%. Saw you at the show. So Lisa says she saw you at the show.
Look at that.
Very cool.
And again, Lisa and I need to connect. She's been great. She just reached out.
To Lisa's point,
she's awesome.
To Lisa's point too, you got just be yourself. We can't. I think the problem is we take life too serious and we're afraid to embarrass ourselves.
For sure.
I think I've embarrassed myself so much I just don't care anymore. Maybe I don't know.
You have to get to that point, not where you embarrass yourself, but where you just kind of have to say, let it go and just go.
Just be you, yeah.
Yes, and it's hard though, because you get in them, and I am so like that, but then I'm human. I'm a human being,
exactly.
And so we have these feelings sometimes that creep up, and you're that's why even stepping back and looking at it later, I was like, man, I can't believe I just let that go.
Oh, that happens.
You know what? That's the first part, Nicole, because so many people just kind of stay inside and they never step back and say, damn, I can't believe I let that go. How am I going to fix that next time? It's funny because, when you're around friends, you're comfortable.
Yeah.
For sure.
And you're one person. Yeah. And then when you get into it, it's like sitting at your desk and then turning on a camera. You're like, hi, it's Dan. No, that can't do that. Hi, it's Dan. No, that can't do that. It's just like this unknown. And when we get into, I mean, I've been to hundreds of events, and every time before I walk into an event, I'm like, okay, no, I'm going to be me. If I gotta be free, I gotta be me. Own the me that I know I am, and like the individual that I am. And I walk in, I'm like, hi everybody, hi, and even introducing yourself at the table, I'm like, hi, my name's Dan. And then by like the afternoon, everybody at the table's like, dude, you were like a mouse this morning, and now your lips don't stop. Like, do you take a breath? And it's like, why can't we just be like that right from the beginning? And it's crazy how a switch goes off, and the anxiety or whatever it's wild.
It's like those grade school dances where all the kids are separated in the beginning, and they're little cliques and groups, and the boys and girls are on the sides.
Yeah. Good morning, Kyle. Good morning. And Lisa says, I meant to say that to the person. Oh, sorry. Oh, saw you at the show. Oh, so Lisa's saying you should connect when you connect them and say, hey, saw you at the show. You might not have seen me, kind of thing. Sorry. Now I get it, Lisa. Now I get it. So that's a pretty darn good win and loss all in the same time frame. That's awesome. That's awesome. But so everybody out there, Nicole has now going to connect with the person today. So we're all going to be all over you, Nicole. You're going to get a lot of DMs.
I'm going to give you this feedback.
Yes.
I got an appointment, Dan, DJ. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you.
I love it.
That is awesome. That is awesome. DJ, talk to us, Brother Bear. What's happening?
I will. So, of course, I got to go to quotes because I just love them. And I think they're little pieces of advice, kind of like the sign behind Nicole. And I mentioned this, but everything happens for a reason. And that, Nicole, that might have happened for a reason. For us to talk about this, and maybe because of the opening, who knows? It's going to turn into something huge for you, I think. But a quote that I want to start with: when we fail to acknowledge and celebrate small victories, we get discouraged and the flame inside us starts to dwindle. And I think it's the small victories that we always have to remember. And so, like Dan said, you acknowledging that is that first small victory. Now you're going to take the steps. And those are the things that I think we have to remember. Having Andy Paul on yesterday, really, that was my victory. That for me, because reading his book.
That was your win?
That was my win. Yeah, that was my win. And because it really, to me, for the longest time, felt like I wasn't being me in this. I'm scared. I'm an introvert. I'm not
on the show.
Not the show, but just sales. I felt like I didn't belong in sales because I'm not really this. I was never that salesy like he uses in the book. I don't.
So that book really hit you then?
Oh, it really.
I need to know what book this is. What is
it? Hit me hard.
Without Selling Out by Andy Paul.
Oh, I did see you post that.
Yeah, it is. It is a phenomenal sales book. For people looking for sales strategy, for people that feel they have like the imposter syndrome when it comes to sales. And it's literally like a 3-hour read. It's a short read.
Very, very short read, but
it's awesome.
Okay.
Like awesome. Yeah. I didn't realize it did that for you, DJ. That is awesome that it did that.
Because I mean, literally, I felt like while reading this story, I felt like it was almost like he was telling my story. Like everything he felt, I felt like, I'm not loud. I would always be in interviews. You don't come off like a salesperson. You're so soft spoken. You're so this. And I'm like, is that bad? What's wrong?
Well, I think there's an evolution. There's an evolution to all that. We talk about it at our company when we bring somebody on.
Dog issues.
Oh, gotcha. I was like, are we going to break? But when we bring a new person on, from even their first to 6 months, it's a lot of that, DJ, where there's that evolution of who you are to get comfortable in all sorts of different conversations. And I will say the best salespeople, in my opinion, are what you just said, though, because it's more authentic. You don't have to be that, like how Dan said, hi, you don't have to be that extrovert person. You can just make that connection. And especially if you have the operational mind. I don't know about you guys, but I see the most success in sales comes from when people really know what they're selling. And so if you have an operational mind, that is something that you can walk in and just, identify a problem and talk to somebody, and it's way different than, hi, I'm TJ and I can do it all.
Yes,
totally
exactly.
different. Yeah.
No,
I have trucks in your area and I'm awesome at everything that I do.
Right.
Yeah. You want to buy this ice?
I used to say that though. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
you
crazy.
got it? I got it too. I got you covered.
Yeah, I tried that. I tried that so many times. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But then my loss was I got ghosted. I got ghosted for a show. I was supposed to be on somebody else's thing, and I got ghosted, so that hurt. But yeah.
What do you mean you got ghosted?
I was a no show. It was no. They did. I was there. They weren't there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that hurt.
That happens.
That hurt.
Yeah.
Wow. So they actually had a show, asked you to come on, and then they never even did the show, or they just didn't bring you on.
Actually, it was even worse. So when I clicked the meeting, it said they're already in another meeting. So I think they double booked it, and I wasn't as important. Maybe, I don't know, but yeah.
You know what? It was meant to be, and it just wasn't somewhere that you were supposed to be at that
Everything
time.
happens for a reason.
Oh yeah, that's right. Everything happens for a reason.
Way.
Right? Yeah.
There you go.
I know, isn't that crazy? The camera, you're like, no.
Yeah, those are my wins and losses for the week. But it was a fun week.
That's a good one. That's awesome. That is awesome. So for me, I'll start with a loss because it's again testing, and sales is all about testing. I know y'all last week on Thursday, I started a new kind of sales sequence, email process to speak to people. Initial, sent out 43 emails on Thursday. I got 41 opens, which is like crazy. So this week was the follow-up from those 43 at the beginning of the week. So I sent out 43 new emails. I got one reply saying no. Sent out 43 new emails, tried a whole new process. I had 3 opens. So when I was saying last week to everyone, I had this new thing and it's open, but listen, guys, it's kind of an anomaly. One of those things where it was, okay, so this isn't working. And it's I mainly test opens when it comes to subject lines. So like my subject line is what I determine will open it. And then the body of the email is what is determined will get the click kind of scenario. Right. So realized my subject line was all wrong, changed it by Wednesday. And then I went back up to about a 63% open rate as of yesterday.
That's amazing.
So for me, that again,
great.
63 is very good. Now, again, I'm very targeted, and I went back to a subject line that matters.
Did you use chocolate?
Right? No, I did. Actually, I didn't use chocolate. Part of me thought that, but I'm like, okay,
I'm going to test that. Nigel,
I'm actually. So what I did is I'm putting chocolate on the 4th. If they don't get back to me by the 4th reach out, then I'm putting chocolate. Okay. And what I'm actually going to use is I thought this would get your attention, like kind of revert back to humor. And then a video with me going, so chocolate did get your attention kind of thing. So
it's just going to say chocolate.
That's it.
Yeah, so the subject line is just going to say chocolate, Nigel, and I'm even debating about doing.
If you're watching, this is Nigel Baldwin told us about subject line chocolate. So try it, Nicole.
It's crazy. So it's and part of me is thinking split test that chocolate hyphen you want some ? And then just chocolate. And so just the split testing, right? And so that was for me was kind of a loss and a little victory. The big win for me this week was obviously 2022 10:22 p.m. like the 2s, right? Did some manifesting because I'm inside of me. I've been feeling something's missing in my career. I've got training programs. I've got a process. I'm helping students globally now. Like we've got students as far as Nigeria. But I said, something's missing. Like there's a piece of the puzzle I don't have yet. And I don't know what it is. It's just something inside of me has said that for probably the last 5 months, which is crazy because it's like for the last 5 months, I've been asking myself every night before I go to bed for the universe to say, tell me what it is. Tell me what it is. Tell me what it is. Give me a sign. So I sat there for about 35 minutes at 10:22 and just manifested. And for all of you that don't believe in it, that's fine. Don't matter. But woke up at 1:23 on February 23rd with an idea. That idea, since the 23rd, so we're 2 days now, I've had more traction on that one idea that literally is the solidifying moment of everything I do. And when it's ready, I'll bring it to everyone. But that idea has had more development and more traction in 2 days than anything I've ever seen. Like I literally sat there for probably 2.5, 3 hours. So like 1:23 a.m. until probably 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. And my hand was cramped because I was drawing and writing. Like my hand was doing one of these. I've never felt this before. It was like I was possessed, and I had pages of drawings and processes and this and this. And if this happens, this happens. Like I've never had something come out of me so fast. And for me, that was the ultimate win I've ever had in my life besides meeting my wife. Like, the ultimate win. I mean, and even when I talk about it, I get goosebumps galore. Like when this product hits the market, it will change salespeople forever. And I know it hands down. Like, and it's like unquestionable. And it's for me,
you found a disruptor.
Yeah,
you found a disruptor. I mean, that doesn't happen, Dan. That's the thing.
Like my heart's fluttering. Just
and listen, and
I want to just talk about it. And
I don't know if you even noticed what you said, but so you said you woke up at 1:23.
Mm-hmm.
Signs 1, 2, 3, go. That was your start. That was your start right there.
Wow. Yeah, I did. I never.
You both just got
never put that in.
No, I'm just kidding.
Wow, I never.
Yeah.
Wow.
123.
Holy crap!
There you go. I love it. Let's share some messages while we're.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah. So Jeff says loss. Would try to help a carrier get loads to share their info with a niche competitor, and they don't reply. I shake my head. Always try to help carriers out win. Being honest, having integrity, having that tough conversation. Sorry, Jeff. It's not letting me finish. Having that tough conversation. And landing a multi-million-dollar account, working from the inside out, creating that boom moment. Nice, brother. Way to go. That is awesome.
I think it's impressive you put landing a multi-million-dollar account at the end. So that's
instead of right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%. And DJ, missing out on ASD this weekend, biggest liquidation convention in the world. Don't worry. I'll meet all the people you should be there meeting. No biggie.
Thanks, Kyle.
Kyle, that is awesome. Awesome. Lisa says, win, reaching out to you, Nicole. And here we are now on this show. And I tune in each morning. No coincidences. You? Nice. That's awesome. Yes. Yeah. So I'm starting to push your name out there to a lot of people. So Nicole, so I apologize.
No, you don't have to apologize. It's great. I love meeting new people. And
no, I meant because I'm probably filling up your calendar. I was about to give somebody your Calendly link, and I'm like, well, I should probably ask Nicole before I just give out her Calendly link.
Just because if someone books me, I don't even know their name. But
yeah, I know.
I do love it. I love meeting new people and hearing their journey. So definitely do
perfect.
That.
Well, you're gonna love Lisa and Chad. They're awesome people. Kyle says, Dad Deegan, getting results is getting sickening. It's absolutely sick. My salespeople look like chickens with their heads cut off. Awesome, brother. Awesome.
That's good news.
What is this? He uses Arctic Cat. LOL.
I think it was about the email subject that came.
Oh, okay. Well, no, you can't swear like that. I'm a Skidoo guy, not Arctic Cat. You can't swear like that. That's like faux pas, man. I bleed yellow. I don't bleed green. Lisa says, love it, Dan. You know what? Here, 1, 2, 3 on 223. It gets even deeper, my friend.
When you said that, I heard it, and I heard 23.
Yeah.
Wow. Like, I guess that's crazy, isn't it? Like when you start, like, wow,
that's fun. That's cool. Wow. I'm excited.
So yeah,
I know the insides too, so I'm really excited. But
yeah, it's you know what, and even like, and it's funny. You ever have something get a hold of you, like an idea, a passion, a desire that gets a hold of you, like I've been up since 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock this morning. I've got more energy than somebody that slept 10 hours right now. Like I could go 24/7, 365. Like that is how fired up I am. Like I've have 4 meetings today with which could bring possibly another 15 reps into inception. Like I've just got so much going on, and it's like there's no anxiety about the meetings. There everything is just like the waters are calm, but my energy is just fired up. Like I mean, I'm like inside, I'm like bubbling. It's crazy. You guys ever have that feeling before?
I have. So I get lost in the marketing world. So I could, when I first made my first website, I don't have it right now. We had the first Candor website I had made, and I had never done one before. And I got lost into this, and it was like, I mean, it took weeks for me to do it. And so it'd be like 2 o'clock in the morning. I had my full work day, and then I had like 2 o'clock in the morning, turn it off, start again. And the joy that I felt from sitting there and doing this. And so then one of my clients, a small logistics firm, he's like, hey, I really like your website. Would you get it? I'm like, I made it. Can I make you one? And so I made him a website, and it was the same thing. It's like something happens to me. Our company brochure, I've made that. And when I do, I like afterwards, I keep clicking at it, looking. I'm like, oh, that's pretty. Oh, I like that. Oh. And something happens to me, and it gives me this like almost weirdo adrenaline to create something.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got to embrace that creative side. Clearly, you enjoy the creative side.
I love it, and it's just like the energy. Even though I'm by myself, it's quiet. I'm just thrilled to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I love it.
As you hit save, and as you change the wording, and as you hit save, it's like this is actually building right in front of my eyes, which is super cool. And it gets a hold of you. And you know what? It's like some days, you ever had those days where like you get like 5 hours sleep, 6 hours sleep, and you're like, oh my gosh, I only got 5 hours sleep. I'm so exhausted. And then there's days you can go on like 2 hours sleep for like literally a month because something's got a hold of you. Wayne Dyer talked about it so many times when he talked about, motivation is you pushing a cart uphill. Inspiration is when the cart has a jetpack and a rope, and it's pulling you up the hill. Mm-hmm. And it's like that pulls you towards, right? Like, so a couple of different things here, because I think there's some really good things here. So Kyle says we have great result with time matters ? Being seeing open rates of 60+% on the email subject line.
Another good subject line. Good.
Another good subject line. I'm going to try that one today too, brother. Ryan, welcome, my friend. Yeah. Win. Foster dog hasn't peed in the house this week. Hitting my monthly personal.
That's a huge win.
Yeah. Loss, she's pooed. No, just kidding. Loss. One of the prospects I've been working with for 2 years paused under negotiation as she's as there's reshuffling in the company. That is, I see more of that happening this year.
Landscape of today,
than ever. And Ryan, one of my losses yesterday was we had a major corporation that was going to throw 20 something sales reps into inception, and literally it was like, we were on the call, and it was like before the call, it was like, okay, this is a done deal. And they pushed it off till later in the year. Same reason, just kind of things are reshuffling. The group's not ready, and part of that for me was, again, if you look at the sign behind Nicole, it all happens for a reason. And for me, it's that when it comes to that business part of it, like what Ryan's in, the reason could be it might have been a goddamn nightmare to even start with them right now. And, thank the Lord it didn't happen, because let them get their stuff together, get things get organized so I can come in and actually look really good, as opposed, like, you guys ever had that where you start working with a company and they are so disorganized, it makes you look bad, and like things are so off the cuff crazy.
More than you know.
You just can't seem to put it back together. So, to me, that seems like almost like a win, brother, when you look at it that side, right? And Trey says, Nicole Glenn, seriously, one of my favorite humans in the world. So blessed to call her a friend.
Yes.
Hi, Trey.
Yeah. And then Trey comes back. It's a done deal when they sign or when they implement. Is it a done deal when they sign or when they implement? Interesting question. So
it is. I like that.
I think it's a done deal when you get your first orders. personally.
I do too.
When they come back to you, when you set up a plan, when you set up a long-term vision for what's going to help them achieve their goals for customers, and then you get orders. You know, how many times have we had credit apps filled out and people saying, yeah, we're going to do this, and then like months later, you haven't moved a single stitch of freight because it's like everything's leading up to that moment. And it's like everybody's all of a sudden afraid to pull the trigger. You know
well,
what I mean?
I
What are
think a
your
lot of
guys'
people
thoughts?
get discouraged during that time. So I want to say, once you get a contract, no one owes you anything yet. They don't. You have to establish who you are within an organization. You have to build that partnership and that sense of trust. And I've seen that over time with sales reps. They're always like, I got in this massive account. They don't have any freight. And it's like, they do, but they have no reason to give it to you yet. You have to establish a reason. You have to show them that you're worthy and take those small steps. And I think a lot of people get into some of these organizations and they just give up. I'm sure you've talked to a lot of big shippers that go, yeah, we have this humongous list of brokers that we never hear from. And so we're cleaning out who we have on there. And that is a constant. It's like you got to develop that sense of relationship. And I think everyone's just in it to go, hey, boss, look what I got. And it's like you just said, and what Trey said in my mind is you got to build that relationship and get it implemented to the next level for sure.
Ryan says,
right on the money.
It's a done deal when accounting gets the wire transfer.
Yeah. That's actually legit.
Yeah,
That's
totally legit there.
Yeah.
He says it's definitely a done deal before either of those. That's true. Absolutely. And then Lisa says, yes, and you focus on your new manifestation. 100%. I like that. All right. Well,
love it.
That was a pretty fun Friday morning, everybody. I hope it fired you up. I hope, you know what, first and foremost, I just have to say, thank you to Nicole, and thank you to all of you for sharing your wins and losses. It takes a lot for you guys to share with us because, you know, the one thing we're realizing, Nicole, is we have so many people watching that don't say anything. And for all you out there, that's fine. That's totally understood. You know,
as long as you're getting something, as long as we are benefiting you in some way, that's
bingo.
matters to us.
Yes.
And you know, for everyone, thank you. Oh, here we got some more. Hold on, just a sec.
Hey.
You always have to create value. Anytime I've ever not created value, I get added to an email sheet or bid sheet. It never works. You have to create the value before anything good will ever happen.
That's a boom.
That is a boom, and that value has to add up to the challenges that your prospect's having. Because if your value is service and your prospect's value price, you're never going to connect. That's where right message, wrong person, all day of the week. Yes, DJ, like that's sync. Boom, right? Where's Jeff and his boom? Jeff, give us a boom, brother. Give us a boom before we head out.
Wait for the boom. But hey, again, Nicole, thank you for joining us.
I love being on with you guys. Anytime, invite me back, please.
Give a shout out. When are you starting your guys' thing? You could give a shout out to that. Are you starting that again soon? You said about the women's thing?
Your Ladies Coalition.
So we have a podcast. It's called Ladies Leadership Coalition, LLC. And so it's actually 7 women. 6 of them are business owners. And we're doing a little spin to it. So it's coming back in March. And it's going to be more of this interview style. So that way we have some great guests on that can share their experiences with the audience on how to improve their career, different things that they can do to take those next steps. And then really the insight of how a business owner should be running a business. And it's a woman powerhouse show. And so it'll have some great stuff coming out with that.
Now, is it for men as well? Or just
yes, please.
Okay.
Please. I mean, you're talking to 6 business owners. So I know it has women in it, but there's a lot of learning for anybody to join into it.
So I've got an idea, and I won't put you on the spot. I will, which is very unusual for me.
Go ahead, put me on the spot. Let's go.
So part of me says, okay, so before you kick it off, let's get all your women on here, and let's introduce all of our audience to your Leading Ladies Coalition, and see or how many of the women we can get on here. We'd love to have you guys all on.
You know a lot of them. You had Sharon Sire. It. Charlie Shaffro.
Yeah.
Blythe Brumleaf.
Yep.
Christy Knitchell.
Yeah, she's awesome. Yeah.
I don't know if you know Liz Wayne, but she's on there too.
No, I've seen her on LinkedIn, like I've seen her posts and stuff, but no, not connected.
Yeah, and then we have Natalie Mathis. She's
Sweet.
So I mean, you know a lot of them already. So I would love to introduce you to the ones that you don't, and
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd
And then
be
let's
elated to be on
get
there.
them on the show and love to hear more about it. Love to share it with our audience.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trey says, let's go. I guess Jeff jumped off. Trey said, let's go, Nicole. Need a voice for more prevalent in the industry. 100%. 100%. And, you know, it's so, Nicole, just so you know, my YouTube video that I'm recording today is all about a conversation you and I had where you said content is everything.
Oh,
everything is about
you're going to have to send me that. I'm going to want to watch that. That's awesome.
I'll send it to you. I'm recording it when we're done here, and we're going to be it's going to be this week's YouTube video because it's touching me more and more about content and how we as sales reps can truly enhance our image, credibility, and brand through content and have people understand us through our content and really help customers, even if they don't necessarily work with us, you know, just be there as a voice and a reason for it. And, you know, it's part of why we bring on Dean every Wednesday to be that voice for salespeople and say, hey, this is what's happening. This is what you got to prepare for. This is what you got to do. And so we're content. Yes, 100%. Trey says, powerhouse group of women. Dang. And then Kyle says content is king of marketing in 2020, period. It's king. We're 2022. Are we not?
Well, it seemed like it really started in 2020.
I think
since 2020, maybe he means.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, I mean, 2020. I mean, you think of LinkedIn in 2020, you'd put out a post and like 5,000 people would see it in a matter of like an hour, right? So, well, and I mean, that was kind of like the Facebook back in the early 2000s, right? But, all right. DJ.
Hey,
what do we got, brother?
Again, thank you everybody for joining us. We are live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. till 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to start your day right, start it with us. Thank you to our sponsor, Daman at American Logistics and Centurion Trucking. If you're looking for a new home, you're a broker, just not happy with your scenery, or maybe a change of space will do you good.
Canadian broker.
Canadian broker, yes, Canadian only. Damon's only looking Canadian. And the quote to take us out is Alicia Mamdi, which it's a woman. So I'm glad I picked a woman on purpose. I did that on purpose, guys. I did that
feeling the love. I'm feeling the love.
Yeah. Suck up.
It's once you start celebrating the little victories in life, you will realize just how infinite they truly are.
It's a good one.
That's Dan with Joy.
To the HPLS podcast. Live, relevant, and high performance information.